Union of European Federalists. Welcome to the UEF 2021 end-of-year review. What has happened this last year when it comes to UEF activities and to European developments, as well as to the debates around the Future of Europe conference? These are the topics for today. And after this Federalist-focused retrospective and some conclusions about where we stand right now at the end of 2021, the end of yet another pretty unpredictable and challenging year, we will dare to glance a bit into the crystal ball of what might await us in the upcoming year of 2022. With me here today are two MEPs and representatives of the Future of Europe conference, who also happen to be two presidents, President of the Spinelli Group and MEP Daniel Freund, and UEF President and MEP Sandro Gozi. Let's start with Sandro Gozi. Mr. Gozi, you're not only UEF President, but also a member of the Spinelli Group yourself. Which are the greatest steps taken in 2021 towards the goal of the Spinelli Group and UEF?
I think that 2021 was a very positive year because we have really intensified, first of all, the activity of Spinelli Group. The Spinelli Group is back in town, very active, and we have been very influential, in my view, on some key initiative also from the Federalist point of view. We have pushed a lot for the conference, for example, that you mentioned, and also we defended the political role of the European Parliament in the conference. We have been very active in networking among, in an horizontal way, among different political groups to push forward, and we are still doing so. A legislative proposal which are of the utmost importance from a federalist point of view. I think, for example, of the proposal of reforming the electoral law for the European Parliament, including, of course, the possibility of introducing transnational list for the European election in 2024. We have intensified also our relationships, our links with the Federalist member of national parliament. And this is also something that it is a little bit, in my view, in the new core business of the Spinelli Group. Spinelli Group, when we founded, I was there, even if I was in government at the time in Italy. But when it was founded, it was mainly a network working within the European Parliament. Now we have been very active in trying to establish good cooperation also at national level with national parliament, and we have created also a Federalist caucus within the Conference of the Future of the Union, and this is also something that it is a tool that, in my view, is going to help us a lot, our Federalist battles within the conference on the Future of Union. There has been also a renewal in those who are in the members of the board of the Spinelli Group. There are, new younger faces, and there is also a good membership, because I think we are beyond the 100 members of the European Parliament. The European Union of Federalists provide the secretariat of the Spinelli Group. And so this is something that for us as a UEF was very important to keep, and also this is a positive result of our 2021. After all, the Spinelli Group is a network to have an influence, and this why we cannot say we have done this, but we have promoted, tried to have an influence on different processes. And I think it was very much needed in the European Parliament to refresh our Federalist presence.
So to your opinion, Mr. Gozi, where does Europe stand now at the end of 2021 when it comes to European integration, to federalism, and especially to the Conference of Future of Europe debate?
I think that we are living a turning point, potential turning point. On one side, the conference is fighting against the COVID-19, against the virus, as all of us. It has been slowed down. We have, for example, at the end of the year, postponed the plenary, which was supposed to take place in December 2021 in Brussels, but the conference is alive and kicking, and this is an unprecedented process. So there is a strong potential. There is strong potential also because, as I've said already in our conversations, we are living a Darwinian moment. We are living a moment of transformation, not only of Europe, but of the world. And I think that we have the possibility also to transform Europe, to adapt Europe, to show in this moment that we have the right capacity to adapt. If you look at what we have done with the Next Generation EU program, if you look at also the decision we took about rule of law, and now we have to implement, for example, in the Polish and Hungarian cases. If you look also at the new awareness that there is about issue linked to stability, security, our role on the global scene, I think that the passage between 2021 and 2022 could be a turning point for the process of European integration.
So how do you see the future, especially when it comes to the big issues for Europe in 2022? Do you see any challenges? Do you have any wishes from your side?
Well, this brings me back to the turning point to 2022 to do what? I think that we have a unique alignment of the planets, especially if you look not only at Brussels, but also at what's happening in some European countries, which have been there since the very beginning as founding members. I do believe that the program of the French presidency of the Council of the European Union, which will start on 4th of January 2022, is absolutely an amazing program with a lot of priorities which go exactly toward the direction that we wish to go. When the French presidency talks about the European sovereignty and European power, when the French presidency talk about European belonging, when they talk about relaunch, and when they identify the goal of building up a more democratic union, but we find all the priority that we wanted to promote. On the other side, there is a new special relationship between Paris and Rome, two important founding members of the European Union that today, at this moment, fully agree on a European agenda, and this European agenda is also largely reflected in the coalition program of the new German government. Again, talking about European sovereignty, even talking about the creation of European federal state, which is an explicit objective of the program of the German government, is strengthening the role of the European Parliament, strengthening European democracy with the introduction of transnational lists, developing a new sustainable investment and growth strategy, focus on the digital, focus on the role of the European Union in the world, and deciding by majority the common foreign security policy. I mean, all this you can find, there is a convergence between Paris, Rome, Berlin. The new government in the Netherlands has taken a much more pro-European stance, and much more open also toward the new investment strategy and the reform of the governance of the Eurozone, the transnational democracy. So, I mean, and also we are pushing a lot. We are pushing a lot at the European Parliament. I see that there is also a commitment on which we have to insist of the European Commission, and also there will be the conference which will have to end up with the first, sort of political declaration, including also specific recommendations for European reform by May 2022. So in my view, the first half of 2022 is rich of opportunities, and we have to double our efforts, because this kind of convergence happened rarely in the history of European integration. I think that another opportunity like that, to find another opportunity like that, we have to go back to 30 years ago, when there was Kohl, Mitterrand, Jacques Delors, and very pro-European experienced politician in Italy. So, I mean, I think that also this perspective, because with the Federalists, we always are very attentive of what happened at national level. We push on national government. We try to establish strong link with the national government and try to seek allies wherever is possible. So I think that we have to fully exploit this window of opportunity, which is not there to stay. And so it is our duty to do everything we can to push the European Union to a new phase of integration.
The Spinelli Group is a network of federalist-minded politicians in the European Parliament. Altiero Spinelli himself was the founder of the Union of European Federalists. The Spinelli Group calls out to politicians as well as to European citizens to fight nationalism, to speed up the process of European integration, and to promote a federal Europe. Core aims of the Spinelli Group are to strengthen the European Union and to foster its democratization. From that point of view, how did you, Mr. Freund, how did you and the Spinelli Group experience 2021? What were the biggest challenges and where do we stand now?
Well, we have seen not only in 2021, but over the last years, a whole series of crises. We've had the euro and financial crisis, migration, Brexit, and then since 2020, COVID. And in 2021, we have seen the real fallout economically, but also on our health systems. What all this shows is there's a number of challenges that we can only deal with together. That no single member state in Europe can deal with on its own. We need to do this together. And this is what we fight for, that because together we're stronger. We want all Europeans to get to work together better.
As politician, you fight especially against corruption on the European level. Could you explain a bit what exactly you're fighting against or for, and what achievements in 2021 you were especially proud of?
Well, obviously, I want that when we do things together as Europeans, when we spend money together, that this money actually goes where it's supposed to go and that it is not stolen along the way. And we see in a number of member states that quite a bit of the money disappears. In Hungary, for example, Viktor Orban and his immediate friends and family steal millions upon millions of EU taxpayer money, and that is what I want to stop. And for that, since the 1st of January this year, the European Union has a new tool. We can now cut EU funding to those member states where there is severe problems with the fight against corruption, with the independence of the judiciary, for example, where our fundamental values are attacked. And now we're fighting for this tool to be used so that the illiberals, those that are fighting democracy and rule of law, can be reined in.
How did you experience the future of Europe debate so far?
Well, I have been one of those particularly fighting for including citizens in the debate on the future of Europe. And having seen that we have now 4 citizens panels with randomly selected citizens from all member states, of all ages, of all gender, of all economic backgrounds, from city and the countryside, and see them come forward with their first proposals was really amazing. And to see how pro-European and how ambitious also those proposals are, citizens asking for a new constitution for the European Union, also to take less decisions by unanimity where one single member state can block any kind of decision. All these are really good signs, and this came out this year. So from here on out, we now have to make these citizens' proposals reality.
So here comes the final question to Mr. Freund. What are your predictions for 2022 on the European level? What do you see coming and what do you wish for?
Well, we have a real chance. We just have a new German government, very pro-European, a lot of good things in the coalition agreement. We hopefully will see a pro-European candidate re-elected in the French presidential elections. So then it's about using this window of opportunity to really get some reforms going in the European Union, because well, there are a number of challenges, be it climate change, be it that large companies don't pay their taxes, be it the defense of our values and interests, both inside the union, but also abroad, that we can only tackle together. And I really hope that we make a good step forward in that direction, also as part of the Conference on the Future of Europe.
Thank you very much. Good luck to all your efforts and lots of health and energy for 2022.
Thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you. And I also wish a very happy 2022 to all our listeners and all our federalists around Europe.
Thank you very much. And we hope that as many people as possible will join our effort to make the European Union a better place for us all.
Union of European Federalists.